The Garden Report is powered by Prize Picks, the exclusive daily fantasy partner of the CLNS Media Network.
Hey, Bobby Manning here. Welcome to a news edition of the Garden Report. Some unexpected news today. Not a total stunning development, but one I didn't expect, certainly. Xavier Tillman sticking with the Celtics on a 2-year deal, becoming the 14th roster player on the team. And so just one spot left here. And giving the Celtics their full complement of centers from a year ago. This is a 2-year deal, according to Adam Himmelsbach, fully guaranteed at the league minimum. So no pay bump required either for Tillman, who they got at the trade deadline for a pair of seconds on Lamar Stevens from Memphis last year. Didn't play a ton, dealt with a knee injury, had that famous shot in the finals in the corner in Game 3. And now he'll get the chance to help fill in for Kristaps Porzingis alongside Luke Kornet, who stayed on a 1-year deal. Still no terms on his yet, though I assume it's a veteran minimum. And they'll be the primary backups to Al Horford with Kristaps Porzingis down for a month or two here. Makes you feel great about their ability to sustain through that stretch. You had some uncertainty with just Kornet and Kata, and ultimately you get a guy who can switch and play against the more spread out perimeter teams in Tillman, and maybe a guy who could, if Al Horford decides to retire after next season, fill that role at the 4. Boston played him at the 4 often. The three-point shooting wasn't great. Looked better in practice, looked better in pregame situations, but the results didn't show. And a small amount of attempts. I remember he made a pretty pointed quote to me that he's not shooting a lot of threes, so he's not worried about that low percentage. Of course, that played out in the playoffs when he hit that lone attempt in Game 3 from the corner that helped slam the door in Dallas late in that game. So you hope he can develop that. You hope he can find some other ways to produce on offense. The offensive rebounding, obviously something you'd like to see a little bit more from him. But he brings an elite skill set on the defensive end. He was one of the better statistical defenders across the league, especially in his Memphis minutes. And to get that at the minimum and 2 years guaranteed of that is a massive win for Boston here. They just continue to score enormous victories here. And obviously the chemistry and the vibes and the interchangeability of this room, the way Joe Mazzulla made everybody top to bottom on this roster feel involved, plays a part in that. He could have went and looked for minutes elsewhere, guaranteed minutes, maybe even a little bit more money. Kornet could have done the same. O'Shea Brissett reportedly will do that, but with some interest in staying in Boston also, which I've heard as well. I still suspect that that's not going to happen, but I was surprised here too. And what did it come down to? Boston's willingness to toss Tillman a second year, and Tillman's willingness to take that veteran minimum. And if Brissett does the same for 1 year probably, he could be back here as well. I know the Celtics, according to Himmelsbach, have some desire to keep that roster spot open, save it for opportunities that might come up during the year, or just take the tax savings there, which is certainly valid given the cost of this roster. But I'm sure given his championship efforts, what he did and sacrificed for this team last year, they'll waive that in favor of bringing Brissett back if he decides that's what he wants to do here. So it's possible that this entire team, minus Svi Mykhailiuk, is a free agent as well, but maybe he's a backup option for Brissett, could run it back this year. You now have 13 members of that team back effectively here. Baylor Shireman will fill one of those spots, so that brings you to 14. And you will probably see J.D. Davison, Anton Watson, and perhaps Drew Peterson again on those 3 ways, but none of that's guaranteed yet. Peterson's a restricted free agent, and Davison is an unrestricted free agency right now. So that could change, but in terms of the roster, guys playing here, it's all back. Your full complement of centers, your full array of stars. And I just did the math in my head on this. They have 8 players signed through 2026 now when you consider Tillman. And that could become 9 if they extend Sam Hauser, who's eligible for an extension next week. So pretty amazing. This is rare. I can't imagine this has happened very often in NBA history, that you bring this many guys back from a championship team. And it has the potential to be a 2009 style Celtic start. Remember how good that team did coming off the title. And this team has more of that core back, more of the depth back when you look at what they're coming into this year with. And KG's injury obviously spoiled that. Health's going to be key here. Porzingis starting the year injured, but Xavier Tillman is back to help the Celtics sustain through that month or two that he's going to miss. And we are brought to you by Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS right now. Use the code CLNS and you'll get a 100% deposit match up to $100. It's WNBA season, so what's that mean? Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, all the stars in that league in action every night. And if you pick 2 or more and pick more or less on their projections, you're ready to go on Prize Picks, and you can win many times your money over there. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. You can cross sports. You can do WNBA. Baseball is going on right now as well, and you'll get a 100% deposit match up to $100. Again, that's code CLNS. Go to Game Time. Game Time right now, offering you $20 off your first purchase over there, our official ticket partner, giving you $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. It's baseball, women's basketball, as we mentioned, and concerts and events this year. I just used one to go to a concert on Friday at Roadrunner in Boston. So this is a great app. You can see where you're sitting. You can get that discount, and you can get the best deals right up until and even after game time. That's usually when people want to get rid of their tickets. So again, use that code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, terms apply over there. And check out Nutrafol. Nutrafol right now, giving you $10 off your first month over there if you use the code GARDEN. That's Nutrafol right now. Nutrafol is giving you that great deal, and you can get results you can run your fingers through for a limited time. They're offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping. Got to throw that in there as well when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code GARDEN. It's the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement, with over 1 million people seeing thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding. So find out why 4,500 healthcare professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair at Nutrafol.com, Nutrafol.com, promo code GARDEN. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code GARDEN. I'm Bobby Mann. There's been a news edition of the Garden Report. Celtics signed Xavier Tillman to a 2-year contract and now have 14 out of their 15 standard roster spots filled for next season. Their work is almost done, but stay tuned for O'Shea Brissett news. Their Summer League roster coming within days, I would assume, and what they're going to do at that two-way spot. So all of that coming and more. We'll have it covered. Sam Hauser extension talks as well. That's what I was trying to think of here on Celtics All Access and CLNS Media. Again, there's been a news edition of the Garden Report. I'm Bobby Manning. We'll talk to you soon. Enjoy the holiday.